Picture this. You just spent $45,000 on what Suzuki called the ultimate precision outboard, 350 horsepower of pure Japanese engineering. But when you finally put it on a dyno, the numbers tell a different story. 312 horsepower. That's 38 horses that just vanished. Now multiply that by thousands of engines across 3 countries. Owners comparing notes, dealers going silent, lawyers circling like sharks. What started as one fisherman's Facebook post has exploded into a movement demanding answers from one of the most trusted names in marine engineering. This isn't just about missing horsepower, it's about promises made at full throttle and trust shattered at the dock. How did Suzuki end up with thousands of premium outboards that owners say don't match the specs on the box? And why are some dealers now refusing to even discuss it? The answer involves secret service bulletins, warranty fears, and a gamble that's about to cost everyone. Spring of 2023 marked a pivotal moment for Suzuki Marine. After 2 years of development behind closed doors, they unveiled what they called their crowning achievement, the DF350A V2 and DF300B Premium Series outboards. These weren't just engines, they were statements of intent. The marketing campaign was everywhere. Marina billboards from Miami to Melbourne proclaimed laboratory-tested precision, ocean-proven power. Trade show displays featured cutaway engines with mirrors underneath, inviting people to examine every precisely machined component. The message was clear. While other manufacturers chased bigger numbers, Suzuki pursued perfection. The specifications seemed to back up the confidence. The DF350A V2 promised 350 horsepower with something Suzuki called true rated power, a not-so-subtle dig at competitors whose engines, everyone knew, often fell short of advertised output. The lean burn technology wasn't just an incremental improvement. 20% better fuel economy at cruise meant charter captains could extend their range without adding fuel capacity. Tournament anglers could run harder without worrying about making it back to the scales. The pricing reflected this premium positioning. At $44,995, the DF350A V2 cost 15% more than comparable Mercury or Yamaha options. The DF300B Premium came in at $38,500. Dealers initially balked at the numbers, but Suzuki's sales team had an answer for every objection. These weren't just horsepower ratings, they were guarantees. Every engine underwent individual testing. Each came with a detailed performance certificate. The premium price bought premium confidence. And for 8 remarkable months, the strategy worked brilliantly. First quarter sales exceeded projections by 40%. Marine dealers from Florida to California reported waiting lists stretching 6 months. Professional fishing tournaments saw adoption rates hit 30% by summer's end. Captain Mike Harrison, who runs 3 charter boats out of Pensacola, put deposits on 6 units before seeing one in person. Suzuki had never let us down, he would later recall. Their words meant something in this industry. By December 2023, Suzuki Marine's year-end presentations showed hockey stick growth charts. The premium strategy had paid off. They'd captured market share from both Mercury and Yamaha in the high-end segment. Dealers who'd been skeptical were now begging for more inventory. Nobody knew that internal service bulletins were already circulating, containing 2 words that would soon shake the entire marine industry: specification optimization. January 15, 2024, started like any other day for Marcus Williams, a professional bass angler from Lake Charles, Louisiana. He'd just taken delivery of his new Phoenix 921 Elite, powered by a single DF350A V2. The break-in period was complete, and it was time to verify performance before the tournament season. What happened next would ignite a controversy that continues to burn through the marine industry. At Pelican Marine Services, Williams watched as technicians strapped his pristine Suzuki to their DynoJet marine dynamometer. The computer screen flickered to life. At wide-open throttle, the numbers stabilized. 318 horsepower at 5,800 RPM. The room went quiet. They ran it again. 316. A third run produced 319. The engine that promised 350 was delivering barely 320. Williams posted his dyno sheets to the Bass Boat Central forums that evening. Within 72 hours, his thread had 400 responses. Owners from Texas, Florida, North Carolina, and Ontario reported similar findings. Tom Rodriguez, who operates Miami Marine Performance, became an unlikely hero when he offered free dyno testing for any Suzuki owner who could get to his shop. Over the next 2 weeks, he tested 12 units. The results were devastating. Power shortfalls ranged from 8 to 18% below advertised specifications. Not a single engine hit its rated output. The technical investigation revealed something even more troubling. The electronic control units weren't just conservative. They were programmed with hard limits well below the advertised specifications. Fuel mapping showed deliberate restrictions at high RPM ranges. The cooling system included flow restrictors that weren't mentioned in any technical documentation. These engines weren't failing to meet specifications. They were designed not to meet them. Then came the smoking gun. A service technician in Australia leaked an internal Suzuki bulletin dated November 2023. The document, marked Dealer Confidential, discussed specification optimization for longevity and instructed service departments to emphasize reliability benefits over peak performance metrics. Suzuki had known about the discrepancy for at least 2 months before owners discovered it. The marine community's response was swift and brutal. A Facebook group called Suzuki Spec Truth gained 3,400 members in 3 weeks. The hashtag #SuzukiSpecGate began trending among boating influencers. What started as technical curiosity had morphed into genuine outrage. These weren't budget buyers complaining about entry-level engines. These were Suzuki's most loyal customers, people who'd paid premium prices for premium promises. By March 2024, the Suzuki specification crisis had evolved from an online controversy into a full-scale market collapse. Used DF350A values plummeted 22% in 30 days, according to NADA Marine Appraisal Guides. Dealers across North America reported cancellation rates hitting 60% on pending orders. Suzuki Motor Corporation's stock price dipped 4.7% following an investor call where analysts pressed for answers about specification irregularities in Marine Division products. The human cost became painfully clear through owner testimonies. Jim Patterson, who operates Keys Adventure Charters out of Key West, had purchased 3 DF350A units based on Suzuki's fuel efficiency promises. "My entire business model was built on those specs," Patterson explained to Marine Business Weekly. "I calculated fuel costs based on their 20% efficiency claims at rated power. Now I'm burning 30% more fuel just to maintain normal cruise speeds. That's $1,200 extra per week during peak season." Professional tournament teams faced their own crisis. Team Real Addiction lost their primary sponsorship after failing to achieve competitive speeds during the Gulf Coast Triple Crown Series. Their captain, Randy Morrison, discovered his twin DF350s couldn't push their Yellowfin 42 to the promised 60-knot cruising speed. "We're running wide open to barely make 55, Morrison stated. In offshore racing, 5 knots isn't a small difference. It's the difference between competing and just participating. The dealer network found itself trapped between furious customers and a manufacturer in denial. North American inventory swelled to 2,100 unsold units by April. With floor plan financing averaging 7% annually, dealers were hemorrhaging $32,000 monthly per unit. Bob Stevenson, who owns 3 Suzuki dealerships across Florida, spoke anonymously to Trade Only magazine. "Suzuki abandoned us. We sold these engines based on their specifications. Now customers want refunds, and Suzuki's telling us it's normal variation. There's nothing normal about being 40 horsepower short." Insurance companies began receiving claims for specification fraud, a term that hadn't appeared in marine insurance disputes before. Maritime attorneys started assembling class action participants. Retrofit solutions were floated: new ECU programming, cooling system modifications, different propellers. But each potential fix came with warranty implications. Suzuki's initial response only fueled the anger. A brief statement calling the discrepancies within acceptable tolerance ranges was met with mockery and rage. The CEO's refusal to address the issue directly led to protest boats circling Suzuki Marine headquarters in Tampa Bay, horns blaring, flags reading, "Where's our horsepower?" The truth behind Suzuki's specification crisis emerged through careful investigation and insider revelations. A source within Suzuki's engineering department, speaking on condition of anonymity to Marine Industry News, revealed the fundamental conflict that created this disaster. Engineering wanted to rate them at 325 horsepower. That's what we could deliver reliably across all conditions. Marketing overruled us. They said we needed 350 to compete with Mercury's Verado series. This wasn't Suzuki's first dance with aggressive specifications. The company had faced warranty claims on their first-generation DF350 engines from 2018, particularly regarding gear case failures. Those repairs cost Suzuki an estimated $32 million globally. The new generation's conservative tuning was a direct response to those failures. A decision made in engineering, but never communicated to marketing or, crucially, to customers. The marine industry's dirty secret is that horsepower ratings exist in a regulatory vacuum. Unlike automotive standards, there's no federal oversight for marine engine specifications. The Society of Automotive Engineers created the J2228 standard for marine engines, but adoption remains voluntary. Most manufacturers test under ideal conditions: perfect temperature, sea level altitude, laboratory-grade fuel. Real-world conditions rarely match these parameters. Dr. Sarah Chen, a marine propulsion engineer who consulted for 3 major manufacturers, provided crucial context. Suzuki actually built an exceptionally reliable 325 horsepower engine. Their fuel efficiency claims are accurate at that output. Longevity testing shows 20% longer service intervals compared to competitors. But none of this excellence matters when you've promised something else entirely. The parallels to other industries are instructive. Volkswagen's diesel scandal cost them $33 billion and destroyed decades of trust. Harley-Davidson paid $15 million to settle claims about modified emission systems. Yet the marine industry watched these cautionary tales and learned nothing. Industry analyst Richard Towers noted, "Marine manufacturers have operated on gentlemen's agreements about specifications for decades. This crisis might finally force real standards." The technical data supports a troubling conclusion. Suzuki's engines, at their current tuning, show exceptional reliability metrics. Warranty claims are 40% lower than previous generations. Fuel consumption at cruise matches or exceeds published specifications. But these achievements came through derating, not innovation. As one veteran mechanic put it, they built a Lexus and promised a Ferrari. Both are excellent vehicles, but you can't sell one as the other. As of November 2024, the Suzuki specification crisis has entered the legal phase. A class action lawsuit filed in the Southern District of Florida seeks $125 million in damages, representing approximately 4,000 affected owners. The lead plaintiff's attorney, Michael Brennan, frames it simply. This isn't about horsepower, it's about fraud. When you charge premium prices for premium specifications, you must deliver what you promise. Suzuki's response has been carefully calculated. They announced a customer satisfaction program, notably not a recall, offering optional ECU reflashing that could restore approximately 15 horsepower. The catch? Accepting the modification voids the factory warranty. It's a devil's bargain that forces owners to choose between performance and protection. So far, only 12% have accepted the offer. Some dealers have taken matters into their own hands. Power Marine Group in Texas offers generous trade-in credits for customers switching to other brands. Coastal Suzuki in North Carolina provides free dyno testing and performance documentation for all new sales. These individual efforts, while admirable, can't restore systemic trust. The broader impact extends beyond Suzuki. Mercury Marine quietly revised their specification testing procedures in June 2024. Yamaha announced transparent performance metrics for their 2025 lineup. The National Marine Manufacturers Association is pushing for mandatory SAE J22228 testing standards. Consumer advocacy groups have petitioned the Federal Trade Commission to investigate widespread specification manipulation in the marine industry. The financial reckoning continues. Marine financing companies have adjusted loan-to-value ratios for Suzuki products, requiring larger down payments. Insurance companies now demand dyno certificates for high-value policies. The secondary market remains frozen, with dealers refusing to take Suzuki trades without independent performance verification. Yet perhaps the most profound change is philosophical. For decades, the marine industry operated on trust, a handshake deal, a manufacturer's word, a dealer's reputation. These were the currencies that mattered. The Suzuki crisis shattered that simplicity. As Captain Patterson reflects, "We're not buying dreams anymore. We're buying verified data." Suzuki promises their 2026 lineup will feature independently verified specifications with third-party testing documentation. Whether the market will give them another chance remains uncertain. Trust, once broken at full throttle, doesn't rebuild quickly. The lesson extends beyond horsepower charts and dyno sheets. In an age where precision matters, where 2% can mean safety or danger, profit or loss, the gap between promise and delivery has never been more consequential. The marine industry's age of innocence has ended. What emerges from these waters remains to be seen.